Good morning. We are here at LAX and we were waiting to pick up Jade and Jake, but they're a little bit late coming in from Ventura. So we have decided, it was more of a singular option for me. I didn't really think of anything of it. I just had to come here. We are at In and Out. Unfortunately it's closed, but it does mean we've got fantastic views of LAX and there is a plane coming in apparently, so let's go and film it. You're excited?
Oh my god, yes. I am excited. Oh yeah.
The camera is out.
It's been out for a while.
Say hello.
I've already got rid of one memory card. Yes. I'm on to my second 16GB memory card.
Well, also where a lot of the award shows take place. The finals for American Idol, So You Think You Can Dance, and so on, also take place here at the Dolby Theater, which was built in 2002 for the Oscars, where the Oscars take place. You know, this is retail throughout the year, but on Oscar Day, all the retail disappears behind red drapes that are placed in front of the storefronts. So all of this gets transformed into a grand walkway for the stars when they walk into the Oscars here. And we're going to walk down the grand staircase right now and out to the street where we're going to see the stars on the sidewalk. It's right there at the street corner, or I should say right at the entrance of the building, where the stars get interviewed by the press before going into the Oscars. Anybody ever watch the pre-show or the interviews before they go into the Oscars? This is where it takes place. A very extensive red carpet that actually extends right out onto the street and down to the street corner where the stars actually get out of their limousines here as well. So quite a transformation takes place right about 2 weeks before the Oscars take place here. You can see the grand staircase that the stars take when they walk into the Oscars here. We just walked down them ourselves here just a second ago, and of course you can see on a plaque and date on either side of the walkway here, which represents every Oscar-winning Best Picture that's ever been, starting in 1927, 28 over here with the movie, silent movie Wings, all about World War I flying aces. And so, of course, retail all closed, all red carpet on the floor here, all of this lighted and decorated for that walkway into the Oscars here as well. But it's right about here on the street corner, right down the street in front of the theater, where the stars get interviewed by the press before they walk into the Oscars. So the red carpet extends right from the grand staircase all the way down to the street corner here where the stars actually get out of their limousines to walk in here. The street, of course, is closed to traffic for about 10 days before the Oscars takes place. So quite an extensive red carpet out here as well. So the footprints and handprints here, they've been here as long as the theater has been here, 1927, and we think someone accidentally stepped in wet cement when the theater was being built, giving the idea for the footprints and handprints to the original owner, Sid Grauman. And you'll see a lot of these dedicated to the owner, Sid, right here. A lot of the early stars knew Sid Grauman. He had a lot to do with promoting stars' careers by showing their movies in his movie houses. He had 5 of them here in town, and this is definitely his most famous footprints and handprints. But notice the decoration on the outside of the building here was designed to attract people to come in and see the silent films, which people automatically gravitate to in 1927, since films are still a fairly new art form at the time. Right back here, Sean Connery, barefoot when he had his footprints made. Johnny Depp, great big work boots here too. As we walk along, of course, you'll see Tom Hanks and Robin Williams, Bruce Willis and Arnold Schwarzenegger over here too.
Sam's having a snack.
It is a mocha frappuccino. cappuccino and a glass of chai. It's amazing. So good. So happy.
Some of the Mondays are dark, but generally, so this is now starting the season here. They even have the Sound of Music sing-along here. They show the movie up here. Sometimes our city symphony that plays their entire summer season up here will actually play the music score from the movie live as well.
I think what makes this work so well is the fact that you can bring your own dinner in here. People bring their picnics. Notice the little flip-up table they have here for your picnic, so you can organize it here. It's hanging right now, the little flip-up, and showtime, so you can organize your dinner here as well. Notice the carafe holder for your wine bottle. They want you to come in and sure really enjoy the evening. And people do it all the time, and it's just great. Some of the best seats are actually in the orchestra pit down there. You can see that set up for seating. The symphony folks love that because the sound when the symphony is here comes right off the stage and then bounces off the orchestra shell up there too. So great sound system too. You can see the speakers here. They get a rock and roll band up here. They can really crank it up in here. But this is music in the summertime when we got no rain. Now, as soon as the rainy season starts, everything goes indoors. We have lots of indoors venues, so this closes down for the wintertime and rainy season. And depending on, it doesn't matter really where you sit because you can see it as well. You can see the big screen televisions that have the coverings on them right now will come off, and there are two more back up here. So you can see way up in the back, everything is magnified through television as well. So great place to come in the summertime. I'm usually up here 4 or 5 times in the summer myself.
Sam, take pictures of bus stops.
No. Look, he's got a minion on it, and he's got a banana in front of his eye. It wasn't just a bus stop; it was a minion bus stop.
Located in the county of Los Angeles, along with 88 other cities. So, Hollywood United Methodist Church off to the right. Over to the left, you can see the crosswalks. Folks standing on the crosswalks over there. That's called the Babylonian Court. It's part of the Hollywood and Highland, where the Dolby Theater is located. It's been there since the mid-1980s, and when the store first opened, the restaurant first opened, there was an actor that came to town to try and make it into movies and took a job here at the El Pollo Loco to earn the rent in the meantime. And the job was to stand on this street corner in a chicken soup waving to traffic to drum up business for the new El Pollo Loco. That was the job for the actor. Turns out the actor in the chicken suit turned out to be Brad Pitt. And over on the right, the Andaz. The white building used to be known as the Riot Hyatt back in the 60s when Led Zeppelin and the Doors used to ride motorcycles up and down its hallways. Cops are on site constantly, a lot quieter now than they used to be. Over on the right-hand side, you can see the red drapes and all the names of the comedians here at the Comedy Store. David Letterman's name is up there, so is Jay Leno. Used to be known as Cyril's, where you came if you wanted to make it into the gossip columns. See, this has been a part of the nightlife of Hollywood for a long time. The names of the clubs have changed over the years. This has been part of the nightlife here on the Sunset Strip. And as we round the corner, look for the Beverly Hills sign. Now, if you're sitting downstairs on the left, this is maybe a little difficult. So look out through our front windshield first. Now, you see where the palms are. As we round the corner, look for the sign because it's coming up. It's on the right-hand side. Now, look out our right window. There it is, right over there. The Beverly Hills sign. Been in so many movies like Pretty Woman with Richard Gere, Julia Roberts, Beverly Hills Cops 1 and 2 with Eddie Murphy, Beverly Hills 90210. Just about every time that Beverly Hills has been the subject of a film, you've seen the Shield, as we call it, the Beverly Hills Shield. There's one of these at every major intersection entering Beverly Hills here too. So we enter Beverly Hills here on Santa Monica Boulevard. This is called Levitated Mass here on the right-hand side. 340 tons of granite that you can walk under. You can actually walk underneath this rock. As you walk underneath the rock, it appears to be levitating in space. That's the idea. It's called Levitated Mass. You know, getting that rock here was quite a feat here. They actually built a tractor trailer rig wide enough so that they could wedge the rock to the tractor trailer. So the rock could be seen coming down the street at 5 miles an hour from the rock quarry where they found it 100 miles from here. So at 5 miles an hour, they drove it only at night because they wanted to avoid the traffic in the daytime. That took about 3 months getting it here that way. They drove through 23 cities in its route to get here. People would come out of their houses at night and watch the rock go by. It arrived with much fanfare not quite 2 years ago to now. Everything you see on the right-hand side, all of this, the park, all of this has to do with the County Museum of Art. Now, the tar pit is on this property in the park here on the Wilshire Street side. As we go around the corner, we'll see it. But first, we're going to see the museum, the Tar Pit Museum, and that's it over on the right-hand side. That low-rise building on the right is the Tar Pit Museum. On display in the museum are bone remains of animals that have been found in the La Jolla Tar Pit. Most of them fossilized bone remains of animals going back to the Ice Age. That's how long the tar pit's been here. So we turn the corner, look to your right, and you're going to see etchings or pictures in the side of the museum here, the crown of the building, that represent the types of animals that have been found in the tar pit. Most of them, the bone remains on display here. Notice there's a camel represented up here. Camel bones have been found in our tar pits. We haven't had North American camels here in about 10,000 years. We found their bones along with saber-toothed cats, prehistoric birds, mastodons that look like elephants, all found in the tar pits here. And of course, you look across the fence here, you can see the elephant tusk sticking up there too. That is
what day you doing that?
Really looking back in time, anywhere from 10 to 40,000 years in the tar pit here. That's how long this pit has been here. Now this is a mixture. You're seeing some tar on top. This is the fresh tar that seeps up through the ground, the decaying sea life that seeps up through the ground and settles in the lagoon here. So what you're seeing here on top will eventually sink to the bottom here. Now some days we come out here and there's no oil on top, and what you'll be looking at then is rainwater. So most of this part where the tar is rainwater that comes from the rains in the wintertime. So the tar seeps up through the ground, settles in the bottom of the lagoon, and then it rains on top of the tar during the winter. And so the rain conceals the tar underneath, and without the fence here for thousands of years, animals are free to roam down into what they thought was a drinking hole. See, they thought this was a drinking hole. So they go down and take a drink of water, only to find that their feet were sinking into sticky, gooey oil underneath the water. Some animals would sink so far down into the oil underneath the water that they weren't able to get out. They would die right there, and their bones would then become fossilized in the oil. As a result, we have one of the best fossil finds going back to the Ice Age right here in the heart of Los Angeles. Then you might notice the bubbling action going on out here too. That is methane gas that comes from two sources, mainly from an organism that eats the tar. And as the organism, sort of like a very small organism that eats the tar, and as they eat the tar, they release methane. So that's where the methane comes from. Also, there are some bone remains that are still in here that haven't been fished out of here, and as they decay, they release methane as well. Most of the bone remains, though, have been pulled out of the tar pit and are on display in the museum here. It's a great museum on the inside here, and built by George C. Page, who's an amateur scientist who actually built the museum for the county and did design the display on the inside, which is really impressive as well.
And the bold and the beautiful, all produced over here at CBS on the right-hand side. the main gates here, too. Now, looking through, you can see the guardhouse, landscaping, and some buildings right real close together with alleys right next to each other. Look through the left for a look beyond the tall, see if you can spot that giant backdrop with the clouds on it. See, it's a consistent backdrop, it's always there, and then you've always got it, makes your shooting schedule easy. They use it all the time. It was created about 20 years ago for Star Trek 4, the feature film all about Save the Whales, uses for it. So the gates that we just looked through are now the main gates of Paramount, and they were added about 20 years ago. But the originals are coming up. The originals you may recognize because the originals have been used in movies. These are single arcs. They're back off the street. They're called the Bronson Gates or Bronson Act. The reason I say you may recognize these is these are in the movies. See, Paramount's been the subject of films over the years. So these gates were used in Sunset Boulevard with Gloria Swanson in 1950. Norma Desmond tries to return to Paramount to resurrect her silent movie career in 1950. So you can see it. They're the original gates. And they also appeared in the movie Hitchcock, all about Alfred Hitchcock's life during the making of the movie Psycho. Downtown Los Angeles, don't hesitate, this doesn't last. Downtown Los Angeles after about 1980. Let's get into downtown, we'll see the Toll Street low rise, but it's actually pretty earlier. You know, parts of 200 films were made on the streets down here.
This is what houses looked like in the early days of Los Angeles, and it's our oldest standing one. It was built by the Avilas, as a second home for them, and he was the mayor for a while in Los Angeles as well. They were ranchers and had a ranch out in La Brea Tarpon, so this is sort of their home away from home. And the house is about 60% original here, but you'll notice how thick the walls are by the door frame and the adobe structure here as well. By the way, the wood floors we're going to be walking on were added later. This is actually originally a dirt floor building. That's how scarce wood was at the time. So we'll walk.
Why on earth were you taking a picture of that?
They'd like to.
Vision style architecture. It looks a lot like the California Visions I was talking about as well. So Amtrak, a trolley from or I should say a subway from downtown terminates at the building. Trolleys from Pasadena to Long Beach go through the building, as does the regional rail line. So it's actually busier now than it was when it first opened in 1939. All restored beautifully on the inside. Just had its 75th birthday right over there as well.
And that's how tall each one of those letters is, 45 feet tall. The entire sign is about 6 bus lengths long, or about 450 feet. The antenna on top of the hill belongs to the police department. It has something to do with their car radios. It's been around a while too, since 1946. Built for our very first television station, KTLA. KTLA is still around today.
Are you dewatered?
Do you want to squeeze your shoes up?
I don't think I've ever heard that line before. Do you want me to squeeze your shoes out?
It's just the one shoe. One shoe's fine, the other shoe is like really squelchy.